Yes, yes. Oh, a lousy video, though. Let me try another. Oh, that's still not too good, is it? It's still not too good. Still not too good. Rotate device. Well, why does Facebook, YouTube want me to rotate the device? Ah, we'll play their game. What the hell? Huh? Okay. Facebook, we got it there now. You got there, you got there, you got there. Anybody on Facebook? Yes. Well, I think we got somebody. We got somebody. I wonder who. I wonder who it can be. Bum, 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 bum. I wonder who. Okay, now let's see. What do I do? What do I do? Do you see? No, I see. I gotta get into the other one. Switch account. Aha. Oh, I got a lot of news for you guys. Lots of happening in the news. Oh, God, I just found so much in the news today. Okay, where are we? Live now. No, I want to... That doesn't have me as the... Okay, hold on. So, oh, maybe Creative Studio. That's what you want. Want. And actually going to talk about saving money for the Super Bowl parties. This is a funny article, to tell you the truth. And actually, if you go to groups, Let's Go Fan Q&A, boy, Gabe has a great t-shirt idea that he made. A question mark and me in the bow tie and everything. Really cute. So if you go to Facebook, groups, Let's Go Fans, that's plural, fans for plural, and Q&A, that's spelled out Q. Stream now, okay. And you'll see his black and white. So he's a real artiste. Nice. That's a... Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, yes, we got up and down on there. Okay, good. Okay, say something. Hi. Okay, who we have here? Okay, yeah. Okay, good. So we got that. We got Facebook. We got YouTube, stragglers, Facebook. Hi, Matthew. My church is looking for money to owner mortgage off. Don't know what that means. Do you have any idea where to look? Money to order mortgage off. Disabled people, yes, we'll get that. But what do you mean by that? Mortgage to, you want to pay off your mortgage? Is that what you want to do? There are programs at the state level that help you pay your mortgage off. Or some of them will even give you like $50,000 to get your mortgage down cheaper. You know, so that's what I would do. Because you're a nonprofit in the state, you know, that's even a special thing. And if you can't find them, particularly as a nonprofit, man, you just call your elected official. And depending on what state you are too, there's also a special office just for nonprofits. Maryland has one. They help you get grants if you're a nonprofit. They do all this stuff, pay off the church mortgage. Okay, that's what I sort of thought. Yes, I mean, if there's any programs like that. Otherwise, you know, like I say, that they do particularly anybody in trouble. So I guess you got to be a church. You could be anything. You know, for people in trouble with their mortgage, up to like $100,000, $150,000 to help you pay off a mortgage or get it down so cheap that you don't have to worry about payments anymore. My church is in Atlanta. Okay, same thing. You want to start at the in Atlanta there. You want the Georgia Housing Authority, and talk to them what kind of programs they have. And if they don't work, you know, as a nonprofit, there's a bunch of ways to do this, but one way is go to the library and look at a database. Because you're a nonprofit, the best place, other nonprofits give money to nonprofits, and they're called foundations. And if you go to the library, main library, or call them up first, you go there, you want to look at two databases, tell them. One is the Foundation Center database, and the other one is GuideStar. You know? And then you could see that, you know, nonprofits that are interested in helping out religious-related, you know, communities. So that would fit your mortgage. Okay, anything for disabled people. are there things for disabled? Man, it is so hard to find, you know. And actually, I was helping a couple people on Let's Go Talk. They want to start businesses that sort of like alternative housing for people disabled or mental deficiencies. They can't get by themselves. So that's a business people are doing. And people who are caring, you know, will care for a number of people like that in a house. And you just rent a house and, you know, figure out the paperwork locally to get the government to pay you not only to manage the home, but to pay the mortgage, pay everything that you need to run that. And that becomes a business. Now, how do you start finding that? Again, it's different in every state. But what every state does have is something disability. There is a main government office called disabilities.gov. Now, a lot of these things, you know, problem with something like that, remember that you're also eligible for anything else, whether you have a disability or not. So the problem with looking for something, whether as a minority or a disability or something, that's just a small fraction of everything that don't get sucked up. You're only looking for that. You know, look at it for, you know, if you have income problems, okay? You look at disability plus. You know, like my one-stops. I mean, that's what, you know, I put in the headline of this thing. It is, you know, 327 grants, you know, government grants that actually every year gives out an average of $22,657. $657. So that's $23,000. That's average given out every year per family, everywhere in the United States. Now, that doesn't mean that you get one check per family. No, that means that everyone gets around that amount. No. And the other time, if you go to Facebook/Free Money News, you'll see that listing of how much every state gets, what's the average a family gets in all those states. You know, how can someone get help to get their home out of foreclosure? Every state has an office to do just that. Again, if you put, say, if you're in North Dakota, just hi, hi nuclear. If you just put like North Dakota Housing Authority and call them. Another thing to do is if you Google HUD foreclosure, and make sure it's .gov. They have a listing of people in every state that helps with foreclosure. They're giving grants to these people to help you for free with this with foreclosure. So get them. Don't just Google foreclosure. You'll get all these lawyers and accountants and everybody wants to help you and get a lot of money from you one way or another. You may not think you're paying them, but they are, because what they do a lot of times is get your mortgage down so low, and then they give you they just give you a piece of it, and they're taking the other piece. So you could do that yourself or with somebody who does that free. And so make sure you do that. So if you Google HUD foreclosure, and make sure it's .gov, and it's foreclosure counseling. That's another way to narrow it down. It's so hard. Like for disabilities, boy, I'm trying to find out about how to get registered as one of these people that I could put my apartment in, or my house, or get a house, rent a house. I'm working with 2 people now on letsgo.com/talk where they're starting a business like this. And every state is just, boy, you got to use the jargon they use. You can't use your jargon, and that's why it's going up that learning tub. You can figure it out, but it takes patience, and you have to find little clues. It's really a Sherlock Holmes kind of thing. You know, I live in Georgia. 2, king for the money to purchase. Oh, looking. That's what that. I thought it was 2, but no, that's looking. Somebody do on Periscope. I want to make sure that the text is working on Periscope. Anybody on Periscope to see if the text is writing? Ah, yes, researching a tricky wicket. Researching is a tricky wicket. You bet. And that's why my one-stop thing is that I've done all that for you, you know, and it's just to ask. And when I really saw that data, you know, all these programs, an average, you know, of $22,000, almost $23,000 for every family. That's a household. That's a household average, not an individual, because that would be kids and all that kind of stuff. You know, so in a household, you know, what a household means nowadays, you know, that's all kinds of things that none of us can keep up on. But again, keep up on all that stuff on Facebook, free money news. I got all this stuff there. Like, here's some interesting things. Okay, testing Amazon effect on the Super Bowl snack. Okay, Amazon just bought Whole Foods. Whole Foods is a fancy supermarket. You know, my wife calls it whole paycheck. You go in there. Okay, so now Amazon, they say they're going to cut prices, going to be like everything else. Well, already Whole Foods has a low-end division. Okay, I live in Georgia too, looking for mortgage to purchase a townhome. Okay, Miller Herney, okay, if you're looking for that in Georgia, depending on where you live in Georgia, but you have to contact, here are the places you want to go. You want to go to your housing authority, you know, that's in your county. So you go to your county level, and if you put in the name of your county, you know, and then Georgia, and look for only .gov, go to their main site, look down all their departments and agencies, and what agency and department you're looking for is either something with the name housing in it or community development. They're the two words they use, housing or community development, at least 90% of them it seems. And I do research like this. If you want all the programs, I'll do it, collect them, put in one spot for you. And it's like $50, $49. So you just give me the city, and I get all those. And then I go to the city, the county, and the same thing. You got to fish around and do those. Then you got to find, this is the hardest one, is the nonprofits. A lot of nonprofits, you know, that have money there for local housing. You know, they're either giving IDAs, individual development accounts. This is grants for help you to save. In other words, they'll put up $3,000. I mean, you put up $3,000 and they'll put up $10,000. So now you have $13,000 for a down payment. So they give you a $10,000 grant, but you had to put in some money. Thanks for doing this. I know you make a few dollars, but it's nice to help. I'm trying to make a few dollars. It's hard now selling information. I don't know how to do it, but my goal in selling information is really to educate people. So if people don't feel that they could buy, that's fine too. I still want to educate as much as I can, and that's very important to me. And I figure I could do this 10 years. I mean, this isn't hard work. It's not like working in a factory. My family had a factory business. We manufactured baby clothes. I hate it. He made me work there when I was in 8th grade forever. Every summer I had to. Why are you selling free grants? Because I'm trying to make a living. Why are you selling anything? And that's why if anybody sells you saying that in order to apply you have to spend money, that's wrong. You do not have to spend money for any legitimate grant application. I mean, maybe there's an outlier of 17,000 grants that I found, but it should not. As a rule of thumb, particularly if you don't know what you're doing, never do that. Never. And never give money to anybody who promises you make money. That's another thing. I mean, maybe there's an outlier that you really will make money out, but it's not worth it. Hi, from Nevada. I think I just finished my one-stop for Nevada, Steve, if you're interested in that. That's the 327 programs in Nevada, you know, where Nevada, you know, is a good state for that. And every state, you'll see, actually the average runs, you know, at $22,000, but some are down at $16,000 per family, and the others are like $25,000, $27,000 per family. So it depends. From Vegas, baby. I thought the word baby was after. When you said Vegas, you had to say baby for some reason. I don't know, that's just probably my age, whatever. But, you know, disabilities. Okay, so that's right. The main office. Oh, and there's Joe from Harrisburg. Thank you, Joe. Joe, I think I saw you over on the, I was just looking at Let's Go Fans Q&A, and I think I saw you over there. So thank you for taking a look at Babe's work over there. Gabe's, I'm sorry. The way he told me to remember how to pronounce it is like Babe Ruth. So I still have to think, you know, it's sort of like translating, you know, if you know another language, you know, when you get really good, you think in that language. Until you get that good, you have to try, okay, is it supposed to sound like Babe? Okay, Gabe, you know, and you go through that little mind game for a while, you know, to do that. But it's what really bothers me. Like one of the items I just put up there shows what happens in the tax system. I mean, see, when people say, "Oh, this is only welfare," and so, it is not. Government is not for welfare. Government is to solve problems. You know, I have back issues, and and don't allow me to work reliably. Well, Steve, I think that's not a problem nowadays because there's so many ways to make money with the internet. Okay, and have legitimate jobs that you don't have to move, you just do it right on the internet and whatever. So if it's doing a customer service right on the internet, you only want to work an hour a day because that's all you could do, then that's fine, that's easy to set up. There's all kind of platforms out there to do that, and you could do that right from home. You could tutor people on the internet, and there's so many ways. You know, people need simple research done, you know, and do that. So there's so many ways. I mean, you can't think of traditional jobs anymore. Things are changing. And hey, it's snowing again in Michigan. Oh, it's cold as hell here, too, in Washington, D.C. I screwed up my leg, and I couldn't run, so I'm rowing this morning. But I sort of like going out. It's sort of like skiing. You know, it's really cold. It's good in Michigan. How good are the money programs in Michigan? Let's see. They're basically the same all over. Let's see, Michigan is $23,000, so that's up in the top 20, you know, in per family, you know. So again, so you, and you live in Detroit, a big city that's more expensive than you're in Upper Michigan, that's a lot less expensive to live, you know, and so it really matters, you know, how far this money will go depending on where you live, you know, and that's interesting. So, but the tax thing, people say, oh, well, this government, see, when I first started this, I was getting all this stuff for rich people, Fortune 500 companies, you know, and that's what's going on now. I mean, we just gave $1 trillion in the tax package, and I talked about this earlier. So they're getting $1 trillion, and we're getting peanuts, you know, or whatever it is, to make the populace happy, and they're finagling the books to make them get a lot of money, and they're saying, well, it's going to create jobs, and I don't understand where they see that. They make up something, I'm sure. Who knows until it happens. I would love to know a grant for $1,000 so I could kickstart this small video business. Well, I mean, to me, if you have a video business, I guess that video production or something like that. I mean, if you try to get a grant for that, sure, you could try, and there may be something there. It'll take it. It's going to take months, most likely, to do that. But to me, what's even more important than that is figuring out how to get a government contract. I don't know, where do you live, Nuclear. Oh, Vegas. Gosh, I mean, you want to get a government contract, okay? Because as a small business, they have set-asides for that. I guess he's not seeing my question. What's the question? Let me sew on this. Now, I have 3 sets of questions coming out all the time, and I don't know how to scroll down back to see a question earlier on Periscope. So that's what I miss. If I miss it, you know, just put it on again, because the old fart just didn't see whatever he was looking at, Facebook or YouTube or what's the Instagram? That's the other one I'm on. So put it up there again. But look for a contract. I mean, there's something called PTAC, PTAC. That's Procurement Technical Assistance Center. If you Google that, you will see a map of the United States. You know, that where's your local PTAC office? And you make an appointment with them and say, hey, how do I figure out getting a government contract? I mean, it's going to be a pain in the butt. Everything is a pain in the butt. Remember that. And that's why if you're doing something you like, though, that's okay. You know, the real problem in life is when you have to go through it and you don't want to do that. But if you want to do something, you want to do that video business, well, then it's worth going through that. You know, could I use about $3,000 to finish fixing my equipment and purchase consumables for said equipment? Is it equipment to start a business or everything? See, that's not much. Any life coaching grants for St. Louis, Illinois? Is that it? STL. Well, let's go back on this, the $3,000. I mean, if you can check, I mean, so something that small is going to be at your local offices. So local offices, there are a bunch of ways. You have the economic development office, your county, city, state. You have Accelerators, they give grants. And probably not for something like this because they're usually in something that wants to grow. If you have an idea that you're going to, oh, I'm going to do this thing, it's going to be, 100 people we're going to have someday or whatever, that the accelerators they have all around the country, they're government and nonprofit run, that they help you, not only give you grant, but they give you technology help, they give you management help, they give you finance help, everything you need to grow that because you're going to grow jobs. Something this small for a couple $1,000s, I would also look, there's nonprofit organizations that give like 0 interest loans. Is there free money? You betcha. So that's a look at. Things like Kiva, K-I-V-A, Grameen Bank, things like this, where people can't get loans for business anywhere else. That's what they're for, okay? And I forget which one is 0 interest, but that's, God, that's the way to do it. But again, I think, again, I worry about if you're going to invest a lot of thing in a business that you don't have any business for. It's really the better way to start anything is bootstrap. Get a customer first. If you could find out, get a customer, then so if somebody's going to give you $5,000 to do a job for them, if you could get that, then it'll be easy to get the $3,000, to fix up the equipment to do it. Or you rent somebody else's equipment until you get enough money to buy it yourself. See, the most important thing, I think we spend too much time trying to figure out how to finance to have the perfect business to start. I don't think that's right. What you want to do is find out how to get a customer first and borrow somebody else's equipment to do it. And because if you don't know how to get a customer, then you're not going to, when you get the money to get the equipment you need and then go look for customers, you'll find out, oh shit, I didn't need that after all, or whatever. But that's not the skill in starting the business. The only thing that's required at starting the business is having a customer. The rest is detail. It doesn't matter. And the faster you could take your idea or business and work on getting a customer or finding out about customers. Do you know who buys this kind of stuff yet? Have you talked to them all yet? To get feedback from real people who give real money to do these kinds of things. If you haven't done that, then it's silly to invest in anything because you don't know enough about it. Unless you've been in that business a lot already, you're going to grab somebody from your old employer or something like, help me save lives. I have a unique idea. I need some help. Well, there's a lot of ways. I mean, I have something called lesgo.com/talk. We could talk. It's like $1 a minute, and usually 20, 30 minutes. I could wrap up your question and listen to it and then send you the best sources for you to start on that. And that's, I think, the best deal I have. Because people say I should charge a lot more, but I don't want to be that expensive guy. I mean, there's too many things. I really believe that high-priced consultants are going to go away as the dinosaur. We're getting out of that era where, I mean, everybody, sure, it's there for everybody, but it's sort of like the Ritz Hotel. Ritz Hotel is for everybody, but only if you have a lot of money. And I don't think we should be that way. I have a small story. I have a small story, but it's not working. Store? Well, do you have any advice? Can't do much with just that. Oh, by the way, what happened? Did you get the question up again on Periscope? Yeah, well, a small store, is that? I see a small story. Do I have any advice? Store. Oh, I see. Yes. I could give you a lot of great ideas, whether they work or not, who the hell knows, unless you try them. I'm good at that kind of stuff. And that's it. I would not get money for your store yet, unless you're really going out of business tomorrow. And if you are, you may want to look at just bagging the whole thing and starting somewhere else. Retail business is not the growing area of our country right now. I would think about other ways maybe, and I don't know for sure. I mean, it all depends on what your situation is and the ifs, ands, or buts, or whatever you're doing. And that's why if you want to talk for a while, maybe I could help you think through alternatives and where may be the right kind of alternative for you. You know, whether it's all chasing money. 'Cause chasing money you don't have to fight back is going to take a bunch. You know, contracts, that's a little better because no matter how long it takes, it's something you could leverage. And you could do it again and again and again. When you're going after free money, you can only do that one time. You know, and then probably not again. But they do, like a store. I mean, look at Amazon may be moving to where I live, you know, and they're giving them $5 billion or whatever. I mean, see, governments want you to create jobs, and that's why they have money available. Yeah, need help to prevent strokes. Strokes with my new technology idea. Well, if that's, you know, then that's a good place for incubators and accelerators, you know, things like that. In particular, it's heart-related. There's a Small Business Innovative Research Grant, you know, at the federal level for something like that. You know, if it's health-related, and it's a good idea. And what they do is they give you $50,000 or something like that as the first step. They help you develop it a little further. And then, you know, if it still looks good, then they give you like $1 million, you know, to take this thing and really kick it down the road and get something big out of this thing. So that's the way to do that. I have all these news items, and I've been babbling here for 20 minutes, 25 minutes, or whatever. Help me prevent strokes. Want to help prevent strokes and have an amazing idea that would save life. Maybe what to do. I have a full report for like $80. I'll show you every source of money for any kind of business where you live. Okay, and that's at lesco.com/research. You know, and that may be helpful. If not, I have another one that is just the best place to start for any idea. So just take, because in that big report, you'll get about 200 sources of money and free help for your business. But if I have just a beginner set for about $20, you know, and that will be for where you live, you know, to get the best local help. And if you go to lesco.com/business, you know, just lesco.com/business, you could see that there. And then lesco.com/one-stop is where you find that big, you know, elephant of a source book. I mean, it's 327 sources of income to live off, you know, and that's what I have there. And it's for every state. I'm almost finished about it. Now I got about halfway done or so. But if I don't have your state finished yet, then what you could do is, you know, just do the generic one. It'll take me about 2 weeks to. Oh, Alan knew. Yeah, the man who knows is on. Well, thank you, Alan. I'll see you later, Wendy. Actually, my kids are coming over soon for dinner. That's why I can't stay on this too long. But I wanted to get some stuff out. But I can't even get to my thing because of questions. But that's neat because questions are really. You know, help people. If I could help people off the top of my head with something, man, I got nothing better to do with my life, you know, except do something. I need money. Okay, if you need money, then that one stop is the best thing. Now it's like $59, $59.95, whatever, $60, but it is huge. I mean, I think it's the best product I did in my life. I've sold this stuff for millions of dollars and peanuts or whatever, and this is. You know, like I said, the best research. It's one place you could go to find out everything available in your state. See, I think the IRS should do this when they send out the tax forms every year. They should be doing this, and it shows you how to get your taxes free in there, and even how to get grants from the IRS. But that's an aside to the point. Everything we talked about today is in that. You know, but just for your state. See, the problem is I give you something now, and you got to find it for where you live, and that's called something else or whatever. And that's why I want to share the data. You know, all this, and this is transfer payments. You know, the government is giving out, you know, over $22,000 per family just in cash for them. These are programs that are already sitting there that don't advertise, and you can't find them in Google because Google is for people who want to sell you something. That's because everybody wants to sell you something, knows you're looking at Google or looking on the internet, so they want to put ads there to grab you somewhere. You know, and so the people who are giving it away can't afford it. Can I get a grant to pay my taxes? It depends, you know, but I think more importantly, you can make a deal. And that's the thing. There's a special, Congress set up a special office that will fight the IRS for you. You know, and that's it. I wouldn't run away. I mean, it's silly. Because otherwise, if you're ignoring them and not pay because you can't pay, that just gets worse and worse. You know, you bite the bullet and go to there's free financial counseling. Could probably help you think through that for you. I'm a writer in California. Are there government contract opportunities to write for the government? Absolutely. What lingo or jargon to use? I have a small report. I forget what it's, $10, $20, something like that, on getting government contracts. It's also it's in both the individual report for business where you live, so I can show you all the money programs for business for any city in California, and also in the One Stop. So maybe the One Stop would be better because it's in there. And as a writer, you want to know about maybe all the other programs. You know, for any of those lean years, you'll have all those programs to turn to, and that's lesgo.com/one-stop. Lesgo.com/one-stop. Okay, what was that on YouTube? What are we calling it? Man, do you know any college scholarships? Thousands and thousands. But the problem is, again, it's effort. If you Google scholarships, the problem, you're going to run into people who are going to sell your name. So don't sign up for anything on the internet for scholarships, because there are people that just want your name or whatever to have some for-profit university call you and promise you the world, and you're going to get a student loan to give them, and they'll run away with a shoe. Do you know of any college scholarships? The best place to start locally is every state has scholarships for the people in their state. That's one thing a lot of people miss. You could also get free training. You could get a degree for very little money. There's a nonprofit University of the People. This guy, I've interviewed him, great guy. He has this thing out. He's really hooked up with major universities and like Columbia University and stuff like that. It's a legitimate degree. It's online, all for free. You have to pay for a test, so it's like $100 per test. So it could turn into a few $1,000s. But you're never going to get something like this anywhere else, and legitimate and credentialized, and people getting jobs from that. There are just things like that happening on the internet. So be careful about paying for college. I think anybody going to higher education, just start at your community college. It's the best deal in the world. You want to get trained too, don't go to a private training school. Go to your community college. They'll do it for next to nothing because they're grants. If not, it'll be cheaper, half price or less than you'll get in any private university or training institution. And that's where to go on that. There's just too much free training out there. You get nonprofit organizations. You go 211.org where you live and see what kind of nonprofits are in your area for training. I want to help prevent strokes. God bless you. Thank you. Do you know any college scholarship? Yeah, and I have a whole section on getting a job, training. Training is very important in our country. I mean, even Trump, he mentioned it. I mean, he used an old time, he was calling it like shop class or something like that. I know his head is still back in the 50s. And now it's all called workforce development. And there's a lot of apprenticeship programs are incredible in this country, and they need people with these apprenticeship skills. We can't even do build out for infrastructure and everything. Anyway, is your 370 source book for Michigan coming in the foreseeable future? Yes, if you order it, then I'll get it. Somebody has to order. Otherwise, I get it made when somebody orders their state. I'm sorry, AC. Yeah. No, I just, what did I... I just did Virginia. That's a store next door, a state next door, and I just did that. Yeah, so I don't know exactly when because it's not in the hopper. Nobody ordered it yet, so we're looking for you, Mr. West, to order. Well, listen, I got to go get my kids. I have all these things I was going to cover, so you found out about the Super Bowl anyway. I'm going to do the technology one. I got, the tax one. I got one on seniors. I got one wealthy financial advisors. And why is your wage not increasing? You want to see a sneak preview of all this? Go to Facebook.com/freemoneynews. So I got all these things up there. Facebook.com freemoneynews, and Gabe's site that he's helping with, he put up to share. I mean, so if I order, do it at One Stop. Yes, go to letsgo.com/onestop, order there, and put it in, and I'll take it 2 weeks, and then everybody else from Michigan, you'll help, see? And you'll probably send it to them, won't you? So they don't have to buy it, won't you? You're that kind of guy. Anything you want to do. I mean, life's too short. How can I transfer my business to be a government-based so I can get a government contract? You don't have to do anything. You just do it. You know, go figure out how to get a government contract. You know, and these nonprofits that help you figure that out. You know, will it happen in a few minutes? Then get to work. Well, it will be after that. It takes about 2 weeks to do it, Wes. But I'll do it. Don't worry. And you just beat on me. You worry and just go to letsgofreeradio@gmail.com and say, hey, are you done yet? Just be a pest. That's okay. It's good. And remind me, because sometimes as an old fart, I really forget some shit. So it'll be good to be pester. Like what? What do you mean natural? Be like I know. Like what? What did you say? Oh, no, the nonprofits that help you. Howard University has one. GW University has one. These are free consultants that will help you get government contracts. You're looking for the Business Development Center at Howard University. I can report for you that will show you everything in the area, to grow or any business. That's letsgo.com/business, or start at Howard University, with them. I've interviewed them on some of the radio shows I've had and stuff like that. So that's a place to start, okay? Now, you probably want to go out and get drunk to practice for the Super Bowl tomorrow, right? And I got to go down and help Wendy get the dinner ready for my kid tonight, okay? Take care, guys. Thank you.